guys, Ash here, Racial Legends. Welcome to the video. Send us some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you're going through something and you need them out there today. It's a lot to share today. It all emanates from something is wrong in Raid Shadow Legends video that I did 7 days ago now here on the channel. I gotta hand it to you guys. Oh, shut up, Ash. I gotta hand it to you guys. And yes, I thumbs up my own videos, damn it. I gotta hand it to you guys. 2,594 comments talking about how you feel about the game. What's bothering you about the game? What do you like about the game? What do you dislike about the game? Obviously, I could not convey all 2,600 comments almost. But we talked about a lot of these, right? And it wasn't just me. It was also about 10 or so other content creators representing their communities. So I want to give a massive hats off to you guys, because obviously you can't say you're not passionate about the game, right? You can't say we don't see the potential about the game. And that's where a lot of these, this yearning comes for, to have the best version of Raid that we can, right? So anyway, talk to him about a lot of stuff. I hope to go through it pretty quickly with you guys today. A lot of bad news that you won't love. A lot of news that you hopefully will like a little bit at least. So I want to start with the future before we get to the present moment, right? The present pain points in the game. My last question to Raid was, what is coming in the future of Raid Shadow Legends? Like, I'm not even talking this year necessarily, although we do have a little bit of information about that. I'm talking about like the next 5 or 10 years of Raid, Like, what are their goals? They've added so much to this game, like, what are they going to add? Doom Tower, 2.0? I mean, like, where do we go from here? We have Centranos, we have Curse City, same thing, Ash. We got Siege, we got a lot of stuff, right? So what are they going to do? 3 clan bosses. What are they going to do? Well, they're going to add the last faction. The last faction is going to be added to the game early next year. So 6 months or so, right? This will be the hidden faction. What is the faction? They said once they add it, it will make a lot of sense. I have no idea what that means. So yeah, but like a faction isn't a good long-term solution. What is the real end game here? Well, they mentioned quite a few things in terms of directions they can take this game. They talked about a real clan versus clan feature, right? Not CVC, not Siege, because Siege is kind of player versus, it's kind of PvE-ish, right? There's not a real-time dynamic feature going on there. So a real clan versus clan system where there's real-time battling taking place is something that's on their not necessarily their immediate agenda, but something that they'd like to have in the game. They said a world boss. A world boss is something they've been really intrigued by as well. And they say they have other like big ideas on how they can really push the game from here. They can even go into, they talk about Doom Tower, for example. They mentioned Doom Tower. Like, this could be so much even better than it is, right? More robust than it is. They could add more floors, more bosses, whatever. Same thing with Centranos, with Curse City, right? So they have a lot of ideas, they said, but those are some of the big ones they have. Now, we're going to get a big update, the biggest update of the year, in 5 months from now, in December as well. So what will that big update entail? They didn't give us a lot of info, but more than we had, an hour ago, right? Which is, there'll be something with 7 right now. Like, this could all change, right? But they're thinking 7 new bosses in a world, in an area of the game that isn't the same old, same old. It's not the 2 dungeon waves and then the boss, right? Or just a boss. Instead, it's going to be more world exploring. They referenced Curse City, by the way. They said, how Curse City kind of has like some exploring dynamics to it, I guess, right? Like, it's an area of the game that kind of is open world, but it's not. You just move from node to node. You have a little bit of autonomy in which direction you go. They said this, but way more. They didn't say this, but they said think Centranos, but what it could be in terms of that world exploring dynamic to it. Okay, that's coming in 5 months. 7 bosses. There'll be stuff obviously brought to the game before then as well. All right, let's get to the pain points here. Right? Let's start with Chimera Rewards, okay? Chimera Rewards, we mentioned that they're not great, right? They're bad. They're pretty bad. I think they're awful considering a few things. Number one is how difficult it is to even max out a relic. They seemed actually pretty surprised on the call that not one creator, and hell, a lot of us spend a lot of money in the damn game, obviously. Nobody had 1 max relic. And they're like, really, nobody? You know? It's like, yeah, dude, it's impossible to max a relic. Like, max relic. I said that it feels like getting a relic to level 12 feels like it's a max relic, right where the game is right now. Part of that is because of the rewards. They said the relic system is far from over in terms of the economy behind the relic system, right? They recognize they got to go in and fix a lot of things in terms of the resources, the basalt specifically, as well as the stardust. Is that what the heck it's called here? It's a starstone, as well as a starstone. They said they're going to take a look at Chimera, but they seemed a little bit, I wouldn't say off guard, but like, hey, we're going to look at that first thing tomorrow, look at the rewards and see if they need to be tweaked. They said that overall, they're really surprised in terms of the whole player base. They're really surprised that so many players keep so many relics. They were thinking that relics in this game would work just like the tavern. We're crunching crappy relics to turn into upgrading better relics. And like, I do that sometimes. I don't like keep all my relics, right? But I still am nowhere close to a max relic on my account, right? Anyway, so that's one thing. Another thing they're going to do in terms of the relic system, and it's a quick side note too, they mentioned something that I found was interesting. They said that the previous event relics, let me go to the relic index. What I'm talking about is like the Cat's Gaze, right? Like the Alice's Adventure. They're going to bring these back to the game. They're going to bring these back in future, updates or future events, I should say, as well, or future tournament, stuff like that, right? So found that interesting. It's not the last chance that we're going to have for all of these Chaos Awakes relics as well. So that's some relic info for you guys. The last thing I'll say about relics is, man, I mean, we went back and forth a little bit, myself and the head developer, about this level cap on all of these clan shop. Like, dude, the highest level in the clan right now is like level 21, I think. It's still level 30 for the gilded medallions, level 28 to build. Why add these things a year later almost? And no one in the game is ever able to buy one of these things, right? Well, the good news is, as early as tomorrow, they're not sure if it's this update or the next update, but very soon, they'll be fixing this. These they didn't give me an exact number. I think they said maybe 7, quote unquote, but basically your average clan will be able to access the basalt and the medallions, whatever, in the clan shop, okay? So they recognize they have a long way to go in terms of the relic economy in the game. They said it's nowhere near where they want it to be. Let me give you some bad news. Energy. One of the top comments that we got in this video, by the way, the top comment, Justin, 9400, 6 years in the game and the energy cap is still the exact same. They will not change. They are not changing the relic, or the energy cap, okay? More bad news. The Mercy legendary pull rates are exactly the same. They basically said this kind of a long answer as to adding the progressive chance events, the 15, 20, and 25, which they could change in the future. It didn't sound like there's any eminent plans in terms of like maybe they started at 20 and 25 and 30 or something like that. No eminent plans. No eminent plans for a wish list, although they haven't ruled it out for summoning, okay? Because, right, it's so hard to get a champion, right? But they did say that once they added the progressive chance events into the game, by their math, they claim that it basically, the extra boost that you get took it back to what it was normally like to summon a champion, to get a random legendary champion back in around 2022. So around 3-4 years ago in that time frame. Basically, they've added so many champions, but their response to that, to help targeting, was the progressive chance event. Now, is that going to satisfy anybody? Hell no. Like, I hate the idea that it feels impossible to get. Sure, they give you the freebies. And honestly, a lot of the freebies and farmables, too, that they have given us lately, I'm talking about the endgame ones, like the Embreezes and stuff like that, the Mariuses, right? They've been insanely good. The Carnages, right? And that's great. However, the fusions, I've seen kind of a degradation in the quality of fusions, right? Which is really the only way that the community as a whole has a shot, even though they're so difficult at times to get these champions. They see those as their main mechanisms to give away good champions. But I will say that the freebies, to put it in the same bucket as promo codes, right? For old players. Us oldies don't get anything. It'd be so nice to bring back the Ninja, like they did with Ninja, the other champions. We did ask about that, bringing back old champions, old freebies. And they said it's an interesting idea. They might do it again. No imminent plans, though. Like they brought back Ninja. It'd be cool to bring back Sun Wukong and Artak and some of the other really good freebies that we had in the past, right? UDK, for example, right? Okay, so that's the summoning stuff. Again, nothing great there. Insane considering they've added 10 times more content. Requires energy, all that stuff. Yeah. Minnow, for example, areas like that, they're adding super raids. They're not adding new levels. They say that super raids in Minnow, hopefully they become permanent. But it's there to address the time issue. So they don't see the necessity to add new levels to Minnow at the same time. Okay. What about the silver issue? Come on, this is the biggest issue in the game, isn't it? Isn't it really? Like, this is the number one most common complaint that I saw in the 2,600 comments. Silver energy cap. Like, those are the two big ones. Shout out to Ayumi Love. Did I just see you over here? A great website in the game. I thought I just saw him. I scrolled past him. But, yeah. Oh, there he is. Ayumi Love Gaming. What did he have to say? You guys can read in the background if you want to. Spaces, Ayumi Love. Get some spaces in between these. Anyway, I digress. Silver. They said, again, what can I say here, guys? Don't shoot the messenger. We talked for 3 hours going back and forth on this stuff, debating some of this stuff as well, right? Silver, they don't see as a quality of life issue. They see as an economic issue. They said that when they've gone in and been more generous with the longer gear removals, the long one we have, their data says that it hurts retention, not just overall player retention, but how long they spend in game, things like that. They see sometimes from the behavior of the player, things that are not good in their eyes for the lifespan of the game. Now, this is what they said. This is their answer to the silver stuff, right? However, as we all know now, I think tomorrow, the free gear removal daily quest will go in, because they did also say, that they recognize how difficult it can be right now in terms of multiple gear sets, multiple champions, having to mule them all around your account. So I think what they're trying to do here is walk before they run a little bit. Let's give a 1 hour gear removal advanced quest every day and see if that alleviates some of the pain on gear removal. Now, personally, I mean, I'm preaching to the freaking choir here. I don't mean to pander, but I would love to see a permanent free gear removal, right? When we had it for a couple weeks, it didn't seem like it was ruining my player retention. I thought it was the best time I've ever had in the game. But that was their answer. So that's it for silver. That's all I got for you guys. Okay. What else do we, where do we go next? Where do we go next? How about Live Arena really quickly? Live Arena, right? A lot of chat about Live Arena. You guys know me. Like, what I've been asking for a long time is a way, what I've been dying for in this game is a way to mitigate the big discrepancy between the haves and the have-nots in this game, right? I think that Live Arena, I said this on the call, I think it's the most compelling game mode of Raid that Raid has. This meta, the end game meta, provided you have all the champions in the game, all maxed out, which like a few people do, right? It's a really cool balanced game, and there is a lot of like micro strategy that goes into it, but nobody can experience it because it just like the leaderboards, it caters to the haves. That's how I feel about Live Arena. I would love a friendly battle system. Not only would it be fun to organize our own clan tournaments, creator tournaments, whatever we wanted to do, it could also be practically useful just to test our teams. They said that it's a very cool idea, and they agree, and they want to do it. They want to do friendly battles specifically in the game. However, they do see it as a feature that the majority of the player base wouldn't be super interested in. Now, personally, I disagree. But then again, I'm speaking to a small subset. Like the fact that you're watching a Raid Shadow Legends YouTuber blab on about Raid for 15 minutes makes you the exception, not the norm in terms of your average Raid player. There's millions and millions of active, daily active Raid players, and obviously I'm not getting millions and millions of YouTube views, So I think that the overall point they're trying to make is they're trying to prioritize in a very utilitarian approach features that the entire player base can enjoy more. Same thing goes, unfortunately, because this is one of my biggest things that I've been asking for, is I would love to see leaderboards for, another tab, basically. Seasonal general, rare only. I'd love to see a rare only ladder, an epic only ladder. To me, I like that kind of thing. But they said that they see a lot of people. Wait, did someone just leave? USMC left my clan? Bro, where you going, man? Where you going? Man, he's not liking this video. He's not liking the news, man. All right. Same thing with leaderboards here. We mentioned this on the call. I mentioned on the call. It's like, come on, man. You give us no info. At the very least, like, who's doing the best with all epic teams in each dungeon? I don't know. Like, I would find that interesting. I don't know if you guys would, because their response is kind of like, nah, no one really cares that much, Ash. Like, they didn't say it like that, but that's kind of the maybe they care as an individual. Maybe I care, but it's not top priority inside the game. Okay, how about difficulty? We asked them a lot about difficulty. Now, listen, I want to talk about the event dungeon. Right? About 4 or 5 weeks left right now. And I also want to talk about Faction Wars hard mode, okay? Faction Wars hard mode is very challenging. Now, Faction Wars hard mode, I don't love it because it does seem like not super engaged. This is my personal opinion. It's not like very interesting, but it is Faction Wars. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with Faction Wars hard mode. I don't want them to add new content that has to last us 7 or 8 months, whatever it may be, 6 months, to be super easy that everybody just breezes through in the end game. That being said, it does feel still overtuned, right? Still overtuned. Also, the event dungeon. Now, this for me is a bigger issue because event dungeon is here for a very finite period of time. It's not like this is a stretch thing that players are going to work on for months and months and months and months and months. No, it's an event dungeon. You're going to be using your energy, farming it quickly and efficiently, and that's it, and it's over. So event dungeon is ridiculously hard. Now, they said that they have, quote unquote, some real lessons learned regarding the difficulty being too overtuned. I got a strong hint that they might be nerfing the event dungeon boss, okay? So I think there's a big chance that in the second half of this event, they might be going in there and nerfing some of the event dungeon. That is not confirmed. That's me reading a little bit between the lines. So here's to hoping there, right? Because pinpoint's so important to farm. They also said that they'll take the difficulty mistakes they made. They didn't use the word mistake, but they said they'll take these lessons in regard to their future update coming as well, okay? I did want to talk about background battles. They said this is a big priority for them. First, they're going to be adding live arena access while doing background battles. Now, unfortunately, as is usually the case, I don't have a timeline on that. They're not able to provide a timeline on that. But that's what they said, background battles. Now, more bad news here is, what about the age-old thing that players have been requesting since the beginning of time, since the dawn of Teleria? And that is a way to farm up their skill tomes, right? Like, or farm skill tomes in this game. Alas, that's not going to be added, not in the form that most players that I hear from want, like a skill tome farm dungeon. Now it's going to be like random rewards from a clan boss or random, quests or market item, whatever it may be, right? What's basically in-game now, that seems to be, now I've reconciled myself with some of these things we've been asking for 5 or 6 years. Yeah, I just don't think it's going to come, some of these things, not all. I think I found that they're way more likely to institute quality of life improvements that we suggest as a community, as a player base, and less likely on some of these 5+ year requests, And again, I hate to be the bearer of bad news in that regard, but at this point, I've had a lot of these calls with the developer. You kind of get a sense, that like, am I going to ask about skill tome dungeons in Minnow for the 18th time here, So anyway, guys, that is their response. There were actually a lot of other questions, but some of them, redoing previous fusions, increase energy supply. I answered that one. True background battles coming soon, top priority, right? Revamp old artifact sets. They had no answers. We didn't actually ask. I don't recall that being asked, so I apologize there. It's hard to get to the thousands of questions, of course, right? But there's a million. I've learned one thing on that call is we could have had a 20-hour call. you know, similar to if we were to do a community call with you guys, right? So anyway, guys, we're just going to wrap it there because those are the major points that we covered during that call. Hopefully, at the very least, you got some answers, you know, even if they're not the ones that you hope for in this video. Thank you for watching till the end of the video. I appreciate you guys, again, your comments, your passion for the game. I feel the same way, you know, I feel the same way. And I'm sure a lot of the people at Plarium feel frustrated by a lot of these things as well, too, like as players in the game. Anyway, guys, we're going to end it there. Thank you for watching till the end of the video. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.